Kia ora, and welcome to episode 16 I think, of Sew Knit Create and Repeat. This is my knitting podcast, sewing, spinning, and now crocheting journey that I am videoing and putting on the internet. And I'm rambling because I'm a bit tired. So my name is Carla. I'm coming to you from the cyclone devastated east coast of the North Island of Aotearoa, New Zealand. Today is Monday, 20th February. So this has come to you a little bit late. I was due to podcast a few weeks ago, but we were away for the weekend. And then cyclone hit. So the cyclone hit not this weekend just gone, but the weekend before. And at that point we didn't know how serious it would be. But it was way too noisy and dark and everything to film an episode. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just do it after work the following week. And yeah, it was massive. So we've lost lives, we've lost homes. We're safe where we are. The city at the moment, we're on a severe water crisis. In our particular house, we've got almost no water. We had no electricity for a few days. We got internet restored yesterday. Phone comms maybe a couple of days ago, but that was very sketchy. Take ages for text messages to go through, and yeah, so from the middle of the North Island upwards has just been absolutely annihilated by the storm. But I'll talk a bit more about that later. We'll get onto this crafty goodness. So I do have a few finished objects, and I'm wearing one. I don't know if I can stand up for you. Oh, see my beautiful body. So this is the Eva Dress. It's made in panels. You can see that's that centre panel there. You've got some side top stitching, pockets, sort of flares out a little bit like that and then scoops down at the bottom. This is my second version. My first one had cap sleeves, and I bought this fabric from Salvation Army. So yeah, so it's a very cheap buy. I wasn't going to be making any more clothes because I thought, well, I'm on a bit of a weight loss journey, so it seemed like a bit of a waste of time making clothes. Excuse me, I'm so tired. But then we were getting ready to go back to work, and I thought it'd be nice to make myself something nice just to go back to work with, so that's what I did. So that's the Eva Dress, and that's by Tessuti Fabrics, which is an Australian fabric store which also have a range of their own patterns. Not really size inclusive if you're interested in that kind of thing. I'm wearing the biggest size, and I'd be in New Zealand 14 to 16, so yeah, it fits me, and so yeah. So I've got this bin here. This is my knitting bin, and it's got all sorts of projects in there, so let's pull it out. So I do have another finished object. Now, I started this project last year sometime and then put it down because we were going into summer and it just felt like, what's the point? So these are the Limerence Socks. And they're the Limerence Socks by Kelly Menzies, also known as Roro and Cade's. I have two. They've been washed and blocked, but they've been waiting to show you guys. So I picked these back up again in January, very close to the end of the month. And I'm part of a Discord group that Kelly has. And I've met some amazingly awesome people on that. We have a knit night and just general chat channels where we can talk about different things. And one of the girls was talking about, I think she was going to knit a pair of Kelly's socks every month, and I thought, well, actually I'm going to get on with that because I love it. I mean, this is only the second pair of socks I've ever knit, but my first pair were her Storm Seeker socks. So I decided, why not? But why not start this year? I'll do a pair of socks every month and they'll all be Kelly socks. So it'll be my Kelly sock year of Kelly socks. These are beautiful. I've knitted them in Skeinz sock yarn. The pattern is easy to follow. I'm just trying to think of what else you would say. They fit like a dream. They're beautiful. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with them and I'm stoked. I can't wait to wear them in the winter time. So that's one pair of socks down. So there was a bit of a funny story about them because I decided to jump on with this let's do a pair of socks once a month right at the end of January. I then all of a sudden had like a week to knit a sock and I was in a bit of a flap. So I ended up, one of my friends, Mackenzie, she, on that Discord group, she lives in Alaska, so I decided to run with her time zone, which would give me almost another day. And I managed to get them done at like 10:30 p.m. Alaska time on the 31st of January. So a little bit of time bending for knitting purposes. So yes, so that's another finished object. Then we've got a little bit of sewing. I just need a sip of my coffee. I think I've said it before, I'm very tired. You can see the bags under my eyes. Nothing special, just a fluffy Nescafe caramel latte. And my C cup. Okay. So I don't think I talked about this the last time I podcast. Where did I put that book? I put it somewhere. Oh, there. Now, who was it? Diane from U-Tree Yarncraft had posted on Instagram a picture of Luna Lappin. Now, I've had this book in my possession for about 2 years. And I just hadn't got around to doing anything with it. And it really inspired me to give it a go. Seeing how her beautiful bunny had turned out, I just thought, yeah, I'm going to have a go. So I ordered some felt, some proper wool felt. And I made Luna. One leg always wants to twist that way even though she's sewn on straight. So this is her body. Take her clothes off for you. So everything about the rabbit, bar, I think I used the machine to sew the ears into the head, but everything else is hand stitched. Everything else. And then the clothes are machine made. So that's her bloomers, her little dress. I've cut some felt out for some little shoes, which I haven't made yet. and I've cut out the pattern pieces for a coat. So that is my Luna Lapin. She is stuffed with, I spoke about this when I first got my spinning wheel, sorry. It came with a bag of fleece, but the fleece was all sticky and yellow, and everyone kept telling me to throw it away, but me being me, the economizer, I couldn't do it. So I washed a heap of it and used that to stuff her, and I've actually done a little bit of spinning of it too, and it's come up quite good, so I'll probably keep washing it and doing that. So that's Luna, and she is designed by Sarah Peel. In this book you can even make an armchair for her, and you can also make another bunny and call it Alfie, and it'll be a little boy, and so there's an outfit for a little boy bunny. And then I went to the town library. Let's just pop her over here and hang out over there. And I got this book here, which has all her friends in it. So may end up making some more, we'll see. But all the clothes are interchangeable and fit, so I could grab some of the patterns for the clothes out of this anyway. So yeah, so that's Luna Lapin. What else have I made? I have made a few other bits and pieces. So in the school holidays, which was just when I was recording, yeah, it was last time I recorded, it was the school holidays, I made myself some project bags. And this is all just out of fabric that's been in my stash. I hope my armpits aren't showing, because I haven't been able to shave my armpits. Too bad. We'll just hide that under my bag. So each one has got a drawstring. Oh gosh. Come on. Drawstring top. And there's a pocket inside that I can just put the pattern in. And yeah, so I've made a few. So there's that one. This is quite special because this fabric came from my mum's fabric stash. And then I'll just take that pattern out. I've got this one. That just came from scraps around my house. Oh, my house, my sewing room. I'm tired. And I'll show you what's in there soon. And then this one. So this one here, I just added a bit more to. I've sewn a antique doily on, a couple of doilies on. The ones that I've inherited from people. Yeah, so I've put that on there. And they've all got those smelly drawer sachets. I've put those inside them so they smell nice when I pull them out. So no pattern for these. These are just using my sewing common sense, I guess. What else? Right, moving on to whips. So first one I want to talk about just briefly is in this bag. This is my St. Catherine's cardigan. I haven't really done much more work on it, but kind of ties in with another theme, so that's what I've got. I just had a few other priority things to do before I carried on with this, but it leads into spinning, and I've done 2 more lots of the Romney for it before I ran out of balls. Thumbnail picture here or here. So yeah, so that's just that. So that's the only update with that. So I've done this. I really do love it. It's so nice. I can't wait till that's finished. So I'll knuckle into that soon. I have other things distracting me. So that's that bag. So there's not a lot of progress on the actual knitting of that one. That's the St. Catherine's cardigan by Kate Davies. Then we're going to talk about the death of the Twist and Turns shawl. So as you'll all know, if you've been watching me for a little while, I tried to take part of the Stephen West MCAL mystery knit along last year, and I got left behind, as many people did. And then when I started to see how people's shawls were turning out, I didn't really like it. I did see one that I liked, and I had thought, well, maybe I could carry on. But then something else caught my eye. Now, I bought this wool from a lovely lady here in New Zealand. Her company is called Mamawooling. And I'm in love with her yarn bases and her colours and things. So I bought a kit for that shawl from her. It wasn't overtly expensive. It was what you'd expect to pay. So it cost me roughly almost $200 for this kit. Probably did once you got shipping going into it. But that was for 5 skeins. 5 skeins of wool. 100 gram skeins. So then something else popped up, and I thought, well, actually I could just rip out the Twist and Turns, buy a few more complementary colours, and I'm going to make, and I need to find it, here it is, find a picture for you. I'm going to make another shawl, but one that I like. And it's this beauty. You see that? So that's the Bated Breath shawl by Kelly Menzies of Broadway and Kate's. She made this in collaboration with, is it Jess from Skeinz Stitch? She's a UK yarn dyer, and she made it so that you could use your advent calendar to make it up. There's a 4-ply and a DK version. I'm going with the 4-ply version. It is knitted in sections of days, and she tells you when to fade, but I've only got 8 colours rather than 24 or 25. So I'm doing 3 days per colour. So I'll show you what I've got. I'm pretty happy about this, to be fair. I'm up to I'm about to start day 6, so it'll be just about changing out of the colour I'm on now into another colour soon. So this is what I've got. Can you see that? So this first colour was, I don't even know the name of it. I bought it from Mamawooling last August. It was her August Mystery Club. So I got that and a couple of other 50 gram skeins with that. And then that leads on to this one, which is called, I will find it. It is called Wonderland. And this is all on her Plush fingering. It's extra 85% extra fine merino and 15% nylon superwash. And this is soft. It's like butter. It's beautiful. Like, there's just absolutely no complaints with this. So that's that one that I'm using. And I mean, just look at the detail in this lace. I am really enjoying it. I actually got up to that point there and I'd stuffed up something and the numbers weren't working and I tried to fix it and then I made it worse. So I actually ended up ripping it out and starting again, and the second time was fine. I'm blaming it on post-COVID brain. I don't know. So there was that. Then the next colour that I got to use for that, so that will go into this one, chocolate strawberry. And then the next one is this one here, which is dark rust, which is part of that August Club, so it's a 50 gram. And then we've got Tiger's Eye, which was, or Tiger Eye, which was part of the Stephen West colourways that I had. So that will blend into that. And then I bought this one to go with them all. This one's called Trimming the Tree. It's got all sorts of colours in there. It's even got bits of blue, which leads into the next one, which is Ink, which is another one of the Stephen West ones. I do have balls wound up for this, but that's that one. And then it goes into the last colour, which is Pale Denim, which was my pop colour for my short Stephen West shawl. And I'm just way happier with that decision. So I've written them all down so I remember which order I've decided to put them in. And yeah, so that's my little bit of fun. That's my fun one. It's a beautiful, beautiful shawl. And really awesome pattern to work through. So I'll put that there so I don't lose those. Oh God, I can't complain about mess in here because it really is messy already. So yes, so I've talked about the bated breath, but then that leads into another, I feel like, sorry Kelly, but I feel like a stalker. Okay, so my February choice for socks is the Diffraction socks, which I don't have a picture here with me because I'm not, oh, the pattern's sitting over there, but I'm just about to start the toe on my first sock. You would think that I didn't go to work at all last week because of the cyclone. I really struggled to knit. It's just, there was so much going on. We had, I don't know, I just couldn't focus for long. I did do some knitting, but I just didn't focus that long. So that, it's got a nice long, so that's the leg. And if I put my hand in here, I should be able to show off this lace. Can you see that? It is so beautiful. These are going to look so cool popping out the top of my Doc Martens. So that means I've got 8 days after today, once I finish this, to make my second sock again. So I wasn't planning on doing any time bending this month, but I may be popping to Alaska to try and finish, or Hawaii. I realise that Hawaii is even later, so so that's my Diffraction socks. They are beautiful, and this wool is Broadway sock yarn, which is something like an 80-20 merino nylon mix, which I got from one of my local yarn or craft stores. And I just love the colours. I mean, the colours just don't really show accurately on there, like real chocolatey, mauvey, bottle green combo. So I'm looking forward to finishing these. So just got to that point where I'm up to the toe now, and yeah, should be home and hosed. Second one won't take so long. So there's that. So I'll put those to the side. So that's February. Haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do for March. We'll see. But if it goes into March, it's not a big deal. As long as I have 12 pairs of socks at the end of the year, I'll be happy. You can tell I'm just so tired. The last thing I've got to show you for my whips, which I almost forgot because I didn't write it down, is my love note. So here she is. She's quite cropped. I am up to the sleeves. So I've done an I-cord bind off on the neckline. You had to do a provisional cast on for the neckline, and you came back to it later. So before I started on the sleeves, I went back and I did this because I wanted to see how it fit and how it dropped. So I have a little bit longer to go on my sleeves. I want my sleeves to come to just sort of here, and then I'll just use an I-cord bind off around that so that they kind of balloon. I've made it very cropped because I want to wear it over these dresses, and I want to wear it in spring and summer, and possibly winter too, with a merino, long sleeve merino top chopper. I'm using a Woolyknit cone held single. It's in the colour Harvest, and they're British wool. I'm going to have heaps left over. Yeah, so there's short rows at the back, so the back is longer than the front. I've tried it on. I like how it looks. It's going to block up quite nice, I think. That lace will really even out because it's quite bumpy, and that just being on quite a large gauge. Yeah, so just got to get down a few more centimetres, then I can so if I put this on, I think I can get it on. We'll try, eh? Really matter too much. So if I show you, let's see. So you'll be able to see. Oh, where am I going? So that's how low it is at the front. Oh, I'm attached. I'll just grab some more wool. So it's like that at the front, and then just lower at the back. And I want the sleeve to come down to about here. Yeah, so maybe 2 more inches, and then cast off using that I-cord bind off, and that will be just a nice little light top. I'm twisting it. So there you go. That is my love note. I love that colour. I love this colour. So nice. Yeah. So that is it for my whips. Oh, I forgot my spinning. Give me a sec, and I'll just go and get this this reel. Oh, show you this. So this is, I've got 2. The other one's still on the wheel, and I've just been resting, and I'm about to apply them together. This is just that Corridale, the Ashford Corridale that I had, and I've dyed it in these pinks, or this pink, and I'll spin them together as a 2-ply, and not sure whether it will work out. Might end up being sort of like a 4-ply or a sport by the time they're together. But anyway, this is a gift for a friend that I'll be sending off to a friend. So yeah, so there's that one. What else have I been doing? Right, it's time to talk about blankets. Let me have a sip of my coffee and wake myself up. So as some of you know, I had started last year doing Stitch on Sunday blanket by Kelly Menzies. Again, sorry, stalker here. And then I just sort of put it aside and got a bit behind. But I've done a few more. I've got one on the needles at the moment. So I think I'm on to, I can't remember what I'm up to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm up to week 8. So I've done week 7. This is week 7. Isn't that cool? No pressure. It's not going anywhere. But yeah. So they're in this basket here. It's actually, I used to use this as a shopping basket. People would look at me a little bit strange as I waltzed around town with my basket in my hand, but I don't care. And then the next blanket is a Cozy Memories blanket, which I think I did show last time, so I have done a little bit of progress on that. I've got so that's what I've got there. They're looking like rectangles at the moment, but I'm pretty sure once I pick up along the sides there, it'll start squaring out. It's just the weight of it. So there you go. Which brings me to the next thing. I can't remember whether I told you guys, and I don't think we'd started yet. I've learnt to crochet, sort of. I saw that, so my thing with this blanket was I saw Yana from Finished Knitting Stories had been crocheting this Battenberg blanket designed by Sandra Paul. She is the Cherry Heart podcast, which I now follow, and she's really nice. But you know, I tried to follow the video and I couldn't get it. I just couldn't. It was too fast. Couldn't see. I was probably picked the wrong wool. You know, there was a whole lot of stuff. So in our Discord group, we'd been talking about that, and then Kelly had said that she had tried and couldn't or didn't get very far. So I challenged her to a crochet along. So we opened it up. She suggested that we open it up to everybody in the Discord group. And people are really getting into it. So I went a bit nuts, and so I have, but not in order of colour at the moment, because so I've used stuff from my stash. I'm doing a DK version. So all I did was I got Sandra's video that she gives you to go with. I watched the whole thing. Then I went back to the beginning and I played it at like the lowest speed that you can play it at. And found that actually I was able to see and just do things slowly. And then the second time I did a square, I followed her written instructions so I'd understand what the written instructions look like for a crochet pattern, because that's the thing that really got me. It's like, ooh, that looks so confusing. So I bought some naked, they're called naked skeins from Skeinz. So it's just some DK natural yarn, and I dyed some of those up, and then I kept some plain for my contrast colour, and I'll show you what I have. I've also using some of my homespun, so I have a mix. I've got some wool that was in my mum's knitting stash, so that's kind of special, And then some of my own. Got those ones. There's probably more there. So these are the ones that I've got in ready to be added into the blanket. And this is what I've got done so far. So this is just going to be a real bright, yeah, excuse the armpits, I've also got bruises under my arms. This has been such a cool learning exercise. So that's it there. I don't know if it might be too shiny. Battenberg blanket by Sandra Paul. I think it's free. I can't remember. I have a feeling it is. But if not, buy it because it's good. And I've learned so much. And I'm really enjoying it. So I've got my wool. This sort of falls into acquisitions because I bought this basket especially for this. I saw it in the shop in town. So cool. It's an investment. So it's got all my wool in there. It's got my hook. I have actually bought some more hooks. So that's the... You have to wash this before you can use it, this natural stuff. It fluffs up a bit more. These are some of the ones that I dyed. So that's one that I dyed. So another one I dyed that's just darker reds. Oh, I dyed that one. And I dyed that one there. Then I've also got some of my handspun. Oh, that's some of my handspun. That's some of my handspun. Gauges are all slightly different, you know, but the squares turn out not too bad. Oh, another random square. So yeah, it'll also be a year of blankets. Don't know how long it's going to take me to do that, but it's no rush. Just pick it up every now and then. At first it was really addictive, you know. Once you got the hang of it, you were like, oh yeah. And I have to admit, when I went away a couple of weeks ago, I didn't take any knitting with me, but I grabbed a little pouch that I'd made. I grabbed this little pouch, a little zipper pouch. I put 2 or 3 small bits, the smaller balls of wool and hook, and I just, whenever I got a chance, I just did a square here and there. Yeah, so that's my new craft. Now, I have put on here acquisitions, and I'm just going to take this off because I don't really want you to see the patterns. Ow! Just pinched my skin. I bought a chart keeper. I did look at making one, but actually it turned out that it's got a mark on it already. I don't know how that happened. So it's just a Knit Pro one, but because I'm doing these socks and stuff, and the shawl comes with a little pocket which I haven't used, and a pen, I think. Is it a nice pen? It doesn't even go. Being ripped off. I should complain. Or is it? Or is it one of those mechanical pencils? I don't think so. Okay, a decorative pen in the back. But anyway, I've been using it. It's really good. This bit here is also a magnet, but it's not very magnety. Like it falls. So I've just been using one of these ones just to hold it up because they're really strong, those ones. Yeah. So that's that. So that's an acquisition. I had to write notes because so much has happened. I knew I'd forget. What else have we got? Luna. What else, Luna? Oh, I got a cross stitch set from the Salvation Army as well. I've put all the colours onto their cards. And I've pressed the linen square that you use, and I've got it all ready. I just haven't started yet, so that'll be fun. I used to do a bit of cross stitch, so nothing really big, but yeah, dabbled in that a little bit. Okay, so I think we've got to the end of the crafty chat, and we're at 40 minutes or so. I may have cut some bits out by now. Right, life stuff. So as I said before, we've had a cyclone. It was really scary. Like, I'm not a stranger to cyclones, I'm not a stranger to storms, but you could really feel the wind battering. And unfortunately our city and where we live rurally, we've all got these rivers running past us, and the big river not far from us has got these big flood banks that they've put up, and they've actually just heightened the flood bank on the town side, which was lucky because it would have gone over if they hadn't. And so that's always a concern, that that might breach the flood bank, or the bank might be compromised or whatever. So it's been really sad. There've been loss of life, loss of livestock, loss of agriculture, and then just basically like for us, like there's a little town called Wairoa, which is between us and Napier in Hawke's Bay, and that's where my family come from, and they were we were cut off, but they were also completely cut off, and we couldn't get any communication in there. So I didn't know if my nana was okay, I didn't know if my dad and his family was okay. I had no idea, and that was quite hard. But even to the point that my friend, who lives about a 10-minute drive out, still also out in the country but on the other side of our locality, I didn't know until yesterday or the day before yesterday that their house flooded. And so yesterday we spent the day, or not the whole day, but half a day there, I think from about 9 till about 1:30 in the afternoon, just helping them out. I mean, they've had people there all week by the sounds of it, but their flooding happened on the Tuesday, and yesterday was Sunday. So once we got the communication through, and then I realised that it was actually their house was flooded, not just their land, I was like, oh crikey. So a few of us, different people, I texted another friend and let her know, and we all turned up yesterday with, some had bought some food, and I mean, they're not living there obviously, they're literally they may have to knock the whole house down. They don't know yet, because the council might make them lift the house in height, but knocking all the plasterboard off the walls to let the joists and everything, all the wood dry out. So some of the guys were doing that, and then some of us, there was silt, all like sticky, revolting river silt, flood silt everywhere. So we thought we would just get the garden started. Her son had used the digger and scraped quite a lot of the silt off different areas, and so we just went into the garden and started removing all the plants, because all the food, in particular the food plants, were damaged. You can't eat them because they're contaminated, and just doing that. So yeah, so it hasn't been an easy week or so. And even though we personally have been blessed with not having massive damage or anything like that, just even not being able to reach out and connect with people. We had no phones, no internet, we had no power for a few days. I'm currently having a shower by, so it's a bit of a convoluted story, but we're in a slightly different situation. We're in the country, but we actually tap into the town supply because our houses were built by the old power board, and they had an arrangement with the council where they diverted from the main line. However, that reservoir that goes, which line goes past our house, has been, the line going from that to town has been severely damaged, and now they've cut that supply off and they're using another emergency supply, but that's going straight into town and it's not going past us. So we're getting no water in our inside taps, but our outside hose tap, which is the same water, probably because it's lower to the ground with gravity, we're actually able to get a bit of water out of that, but it's just very slow. So I've got no shower, no running water in the kitchen. We did fill the bath with water at the beginning when the cyclone first hit, and we filled some bottles with water just in case. So we've had some drinking water. But I'm literally having to go outside with a bucket, 9-litre bucket, fill it up with water to a certain point, fill the jug up with water, boil some water, tip it into the jug, take it into the shower, stand in the shower cubicle and just wash myself that way. I even washed my hair yesterday. So it's going to be really nice when we finally get running, but can't wash any clothes, so I think they're allowing the laundromats in town to open. I might try and at least get some of Evan's work clothes washed. I don't know. Either that or else see if his mum can do them. I don't know. It's just all those things that you kind of take for granted. Like fuel. We had all the fuel was running out. And of course everyone panic buys. Like I had just over a half a tank of gas when this all happened. I didn't run in and go and get gas because I didn't need it. I thought I would save it for people who were just about empty. But now it's got to the point where I've done a couple of little trips here and there and that where I've had to. And Evan's had to decant some gas into my car, but it's 91 octane and I'm supposed to use 95 or above. But he said it'll be alright just to mix it a little bit. FPOS, can't use FPOS. Everybody needed cash, but you couldn't get cash out of ATMs because there was no power and there was no internet and they all got to be connected up to, it was diabolical. They're encouraging you to be a cashless society and then you have no cash and you can't buy anything. So, I don't know. And then, I think you get it in any country, but you get these people that think it's okay to just take advantage of other people's misery and loot houses that are being red stickered, or the police are busy doing this, so I'm just going to do a smash and grab in a shop, or just things like that. Like it's just like the best and the worst come out of people. So anywho, I have got a meeting at 11 o'clock at work today to find out what's happening. I mean, I find it very interesting that we're going to have all these kids at school when we can't control their use of water. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, their education is important, and we do have internet now. We only got that on yesterday, so that was going to be a bit of an issue, just with different things, but anyway, I think I'm going to leave you guys to it. This is very rambly. Thanks to everybody I had a few people try to reach out to me on Instagram. So we had very patchy, sort of like this patchy internet where they tried to put some links up in different places just to help out, and it was coming through. So I was getting these notifications on my phone that I had a message, but I couldn't open them or download the messages. So like on Instagram and Facebook and Discord and all those things, I could see the numbers just popping up, but I couldn't read anything, and every now and then I could get something through and then nothing. So thanks for everybody's kind thoughts. We were okay. The sun is shining outside. I'm going to take this dress off soon and put something more comfortable on. I'm sure they don't expect us to be dressed fancy for a quick meeting at work. Then I've got to try and brave the supermarket, and because I haven't done any shopping since before all this happened, and yeah, get ready to start back again tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, people, thank you. Take care, and I'll catch you next time around.